On June 8th, 2009, Santa Barbara Zoo hatched out their very first Humboldt penguin chick. He hatched out at about 90 grams. Humboldt penguin chicks at this stage are very helpless. They're being fed by their parents. Parents will eat the fish and store it in their stomach and regurgitate it back into the chick's mouth. So that therefore made sure we have to go in every week and weigh him to make sure he was getting properly fed, as also observing his parents to make sure that they're doing regular feedings. And as our chick grew, he started getting stronger and stronger and more curious. And as soon as he started to get to where he was going to venture out of the burrow, we wanted to make sure that he could know how to swim, since it's a very, very big pool on exhibit for such a little guy. We removed our chick off of exhibit for a few weeks just to get his flippers a chance to try a shallow pool. And once he finally grew into his awkward floppy flippers, he was able to finally get comfortable and put his head underwater and realize that he can see underwater. And that turned into a whole excitement for him, and now we can't even get him out of the water. And as you can tell by watching the video how much our chick is changing and growing, he started out with his baby down feathers, and as you keep watching the video, slowly he starts losing those feathers and starts getting his juvenile waterproof feathers, which he will have now. When you come to see him on exhibit, he'll have his juvenile feathers until about the end of August, when all the adults molt, and he will then get his adult feathers for the rest of the year.
Our zoo has 16 penguins, but only one pair is recommended to breed. The reason that is because we have a limited number of penguins in the population in captivity, and we want to make sure that the pairs that have the strongest genetics get together and create young, because those will be the strongest and most genetically diverse offspring. All this information is organized by an SSP. SSP stands for Species Survival Program, and the Santa Barbara Zoo works in cooperation with a number of other zoos nationwide and worldwide to keep track of the number of penguins in captivity and who's breeding with who and who is the most appropriate pairings. There is one individual called the stud bookkeeper that lets them know what the recommendations are for their particular birds and who should be doing what with who, when, and where.
That was the first swim.
Real decent
good
swim.
Head underwater.
Very proud daddies.
Humboldt penguins are native to coastal Chile and Peru, where their name comes from the Humboldt Current that goes down along the coast there. One of the most commonly asked questions here at the zoo is why our penguins are not on ice, or if we keep our penguin pool chilled. And the answer to that is no. They are actually used to many different climates. In coastal Chile and Peru, it can actually get really warm up into the hundreds, and it can get fairly cold, but not to the point of freezing like it does in the Antarctic. So here in Santa Barbara, it is actually a very comfortable temperature for these penguins. In the wild, the Humboldt penguins' diet would consist of mostly of anchovies and sardines. However, here at the Santa Barbara Zoo, we offer them quite a few varieties of fish. We offer them anchovies, which they would get, and capelin, herring, and two different types of smelt called day smelt and night smelt, which they all have their absolute favorites.